We'll explore about what is Jenkins and what is the use of Jenkins in Selenium project. Try to understand this. A team working on a Selenium project. The team members implemented different test cases for the automation testing of the project. All the team members will be connected to the central location called GitHub, and all test cases gets uploaded into the github.com. The various test cases prepared by the team members finally presented a cloud repository or a centralized location called GitHub. Now, I want to allow my client, I want to allow any other user to execute the test cases. One second, sorry. I want to allow my client or any other user belongs to this project to run the test cases. I want to allow the other user to run test cases, client to run test cases, my project manager to run test cases, but I do not want to provide the code. I want to allow a junior person to execute the test cases on the modified versions, but I do not want to give the code to the junior person. When the entire code is given, they may modify, they may edit. I mean, first of all, the person who do not have much idea about the Selenium, I do not want to provide the code, but I want to permit them to run automation test cases without giving the code, without showing or giving access to the code. What to do? Here, Jenkins is a solution. Jenkins is a separate server, cloud server. The client or any other user, I give the access to the Jenkins server. In the Jenkins, we can create login accounts for different team members. The Jenkins server, we can create logins to the team members, any other people to access the Jenkins server. In the Jenkins, I'll create a job, test execution job. While creating a test execution job, I'll configure the location where my automation scripts are available. I'll create a job in Jenkins, test execution job in Jenkins. I specify the location where my automation scripts are available. It may be a GitHub location. It may be a local system location, any other location where the code is present. Now, when I run this job, this person will log in or this person can log in. They only run the job here, execution job. Jenkins will connect to the location where the code is available, continuously integrate this code, execute the automation scripts on the specified location, application, display the results after execution in the same Jenkins server. Maybe this client can log into Jenkins server. Any other user can log into Jenkins server. There is a test execution job available here. They simply just click run button, run the job, Jenkins will connect to the location where the code is available, execute automation scripts on the given build. The results after execution will be posted back into the Jenkins server. So these people can run the automation test cases from Jenkins, can have the results after execution on the Jenkins without knowing the code where it is. Without having the access the code, you can allow other team members to run your automation script via Jenkins server. So this is the purpose in real-time Jenkins we use in Selenium project point of view. Here, we are actually the users of the Jenkins. Jenkins deployment, configuration, pipelines, everything taken care of by DevOps engineer. We provided a login. We log in, run the job. It is running the automation scripts, giving the results back to the Jenkins server. Here, maybe you can configure either GitHub location or any other location where your automation scripts are available. Jenkins will connect to the location where the code is available, take all the test cases, integrate the test cases, and run the test case on the given build. So without providing code to the team members, you are allowing your team members to run the automation scripts with the infrastructure called Jenkins infrastructure. Take this diagram, I'll give the notes and we'll see how it works.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, yesterday in local repository, sir, how to create a branch, sir?
Why you worry about the branches now in Git? Not required, leave it. That is not our topic.
Okay, sir.
Again, GitHub is a bigger topic. There are so many options in the GitHub. If you are really a DevOps engineer, you need to have the complete idea about the GitHub. I can explain GitHub for a month if you are a DevOps engineer. I explained GitHub in Selenium of you. That's it. Creating branches.
It is enough to us, sir.
Yes. What is, as a team member, what is your job?
We create a project and...
No, first of all, you will not even create a project also. As a team member, job is whatever the code you have implemented on your local environment, by the end of the day, you need to push your code into the github.com. Entire GitHub administration setup taken care of by DevOps engineers. Branches creation, there are so many hooks, there are so many options. If you are a DevOps engineer, you need to have the complete idea about the github.com. You know, in DevOps course, GitHub will be taught only for a month. Complete options of the GitHub, branches, hooks. There are so many options available. Developer settings we have seen yesterday. I have shown you just only one setting, creating a token. There are so many settings are available. It is the job of the DevOps engineers to configure all of the settings. As a Selenium tester point of view, in your company, you've given a you given access to the GitHub project. Your job is uploading the code, if needed, downloading the code from the GitHub. Entire GitHub administration, setting up configurations taken care of by DevOps people. In fact, in Jenkins also, our job is only executing the jobs. Right. Let me explain this. Take some short description about it.
Sir, is this the last topic of our class
No.
or training?
No. You take these notes. There are another 3 sessions. I'll explain.
Okay, sir.
If last class tomorrow also you're not coming.
Sir, nothing like that. I'm just asking.
No, after github.com, after the Jenkins. See, actually speaking, up to Cucumber framework is enough for you. All what I'm teaching is some miscellaneous topics, but better to have some little idea about this real-time tools. For that reason, I'm giving this idea. Okay? Generally, the experience giving people should have some little idea about this, what is Git and what is Jenkins and all. For that reason, I'm teaching here. Anyhow, after this, first you please confirm whether I covered these topics or not. Did I explain this topic? Explain? How to scroll a page. I thought I was not explained to you. As online team, I explained this topic. Automating
done,
page
sir.
scroll.
It is done, sir.
Okay. Also, capturing screenshot. Okay. No, I'll explain this to you. Auto IT explain? Not handling multiple browser windows. Handling Windows elements. They're not such an important topic, but the capturing screenshot is important. In the interviews also they'll ask you. Say for example here, while adding a new option, uploading a photo file. Is it a browser? This one. After I click choose, you are getting something. We need to enter the file path here. What is the file you would like to upload and click open button? Are they HTML elements?
No, sir.
No.
It's not a browser, it's a window, right? Let's assume in adding an employee functionality, uploading a is a mandatory field. Uploading a photo is a mandatory field. Automating the script, how to upload a photo, you cannot conclude it, correct? It's a showstopper for you. You do not know how to handle this window, correct? Actually, Selenium cannot handle this window. Because Selenium is a browser-based application, right? Selenium cannot identify Windows elements. We have alternatively the Auto IT is a very powerful tool. Using this Auto IT, we can able to automate Windows application operations. If you learn how to make use of the Auto IT, then only you can able to handle the situation. The previous scenario, what I said. I'll explain this topic. How to handle this kind of Windows components. We have to build the code using Auto IT. The Auto IT code we have into some exe file. That exe file we need to call from Java, so that you can able to automate the Windows applications. Yes, these are the things I thought I was not explained this too, but only this is a pending one, right? Well, I'll explain this.
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Jira is also included in the.
Jira already I covered. Jira already I covered in after manual testing. You joined for Selenium training? No, already I Jira covered after manual testing. After learning Jira only, we started automation testing.
Yeah, sir. Even that one is the last topic of manual testing.
Right, so very good. Yes, I'll do one thing. As you said, no, you remember these two topics?
Yes.
Okay. I'll explain this miscellaneous topics, don't worry. If needed, I give a small revision on the entire Selenium. Okay? I don't feel any hurry. Okay? Let us finish up the Jenkins, and then we talk about this Windows element using Auto IT. And I'll give a small revision, the quick revision on the entire Selenium what we have learned. Right. Let us continue with the Jenkins first. Let us conclude the Jenkins. In my system already Jenkins is installed actually. You try to understand it and leave the topic. Do not install Jenkins on your machine. It kills lots of resources. It's actually server software. If you install the Jenkins must be installed in a server system. So many background services will be running. For teaching purpose, I have installed it. But generally in the real time, Jenkins will be installed and managed in a dedicated cloud server. Got it? Now, actually the Jenkins installation, setup, configuration, everything taken care of by again DevOps engineer. I told you the DevOps engineer's responsibility, IT infrastructure management, development related, QA related, live production related, complete IT infrastructure management using the cloud tools is the responsibility of the DevOps engineer. They take care of all these installations and setups. Right. Here, you provided a login account. Supposing you asked to create a job, run the job, you given a login account to access the servers. Let's assume that our company DevOps engineer set up the Jenkins, given a login account to the team lead. My account is QEdge. I log in. Now, previous batch I have executed it. I'm deleting the job. Leave it. First time I log in, say. Here we have an option, create a job. Or on the left side in the dashboard, we have an option called create a new item. Jenkins used to create the test execution jobs. RNHRM, test execution job. I'm giving a name. RNHRM, test execution job. There are different templates available actually here. Generally, we go with the first one, freestyle template. Okay. In fact, this is also not your job actually. Your lead will configure this. Then you can describe the job, what actually it is. This is the job created to run automation test cases on our HRM project. Some description if required. Here we have some options here. You need to mention, specify where the code available, where automation scripts are available. If I check this option, GitHub project, you can give your GitHub URL. Yesterday we have given some GitHub project URL, right? Same URL you can give. Alternatively, use custom workspace. You can specify the location where the automation scripts are available. Say, this RHRM suite I want to run. These are location where my automation test case are available, project location. You can give either GitHub location, GitHub URL where the code available, or your local system location where the code is available. Same thing, source management, GitHub URL, GitHub repository URL. Build triggers, we'll discuss about this. See here, we have an option, build periodically. You can schedule the build execution. You can configure the date and time when you want Jenkins to run test cases automatically. Your presence also not needed. Based on the time or date you have configured, automatically Jenkins will run the test case on the given build. Maybe midnight or early morning or whatever it may be. Your presence also not needed. First, I will instantly run automation test cases without scheduling. Later, I'll explain how to schedule and run. You need to add a build step here. Some Windows batch command you want to run. What file you want to run to be mentioned here. Apply and save button. Later I'll come to this. Because there I have to configure a Windows batch file. First, let me teach you how to run a test suite. Any test suite from the command prompt, not from the Eclipse. How to run automation test cases from the command prompt, let me explain. The command, whatever I'm going to create to run test cases from the command prompt, I'll keep in a batch file. That batch file we call from the Jenkins. You remember, while explaining GitHub, grid, batch files we have created, hub, node something. Any Windows commands you can save in the batch file. So that batch file you can run or you can make Jenkins to run. First, try to understand how to run automation test cases from the command prompt. Here I'm command prompt. I went to the command prompt. Here I move to the location, my project location. It's your project location, right? Or an HRM project. We move to our project location, this location. Now, I want to run the automation scripts from the command prompt, not from the Eclipse. In the Eclipse environment, TestNG, Selenium, everything you have installed are associated. As I am planning to run from the command prompt, what I will do temporarily, various libraries, jar files required to run automation script, I'll keep in some temporary folder. Here I am creating a new folder, temp, or give a meaningful name. Say for example, one second, give a meaningful name, say for example, jar files. Whatever the jar files, libraries required to run your automation scripts, keep in this folder. Actually, it is a TestNG framework file, rnhrmsuite.xml. What are the libraries required to run these scripts? TestNG, Selenium. So what I will do, I need Selenium jar file. I also need TestNG jar file. Here I have Selenium jar file. I'll save inside my jars folder. Here. Also, I need TestNG jar file. You remember this? This is called Maven local repository. I'm just taking, I wanted TestNG jar file, that's it. From wherever you take, that is your choice. The TestNG jar file it is. So whatever the jar files required to run my automation test cases, I kept inside one folder. Now in the command prompt, I'll type a command like this. Java-cp, cp meaning compile. Java-cp compile. Specify the location of the jar files. What are the jar files required to run your test cases? The jar files required to run my TestNG framework available in this location. So as of now, what is the command? Compile all jar files, star I use, star meaning all jar files available in this location. Then specify your project location. C drive. This is your project location. The package name org.testng. One second, sorry. Need to specify your project bin location actually. Actually, in the bin location only all the files will be available. Test cases and everything will be available. Specify your project bin location. The package name org.testng.testg and specify the XML file you would like to run. This XML file I want to run. First of all, let us see what is available in this suite. Admin login test case with validator, admin login test case with invalidator, employee registration, user registration, employee login with invalidator. There are so many test cases available. Do one thing. Finally, there are some test cases here. There are some test cases here. Root file path need to be mentioned. The C drive. Is RNHRM test.xml. See, I was not even opened Eclipse till now. I'm running this. I made a spelling mistake? Yes. Right. I'm running it now. So I'm running the test cases from the command prompt. All test cases available in the suite will be executed one by one. Okay, there's a problem with the data. Okay, leave it. To understand the concept, I remove all the unwanted test cases. I mean, few test cases I'll remove. Actually, data I was not updated correctly. Let's say there are two test cases now. Admin login with valid data, admin login with invalid data. We are understanding the concept of executing a suite from the command prompt. I'm running the same now. There are only two test cases now. The test cases are executed and we are getting the results in the command prompt. See, without even opening the Eclipse, I am able to run the test cases. So this command, little lengthy command, I'll save in a batch file. So that next time whenever I double click the batch file, automatically this gets executed. I save this command. I'll put somewhere in my, okay, in the same location I'll put. I'm giving a name like testrun.bat. Test run, test execution.batch file. I saved it. Now how to run a batch file, how to run a batch file directly? You double click. I double click this batch file. Automatically the code gets executed. When I was not even open Eclipse also. Executed. This batch file you are going to configure in the Jenkins. Now let us continue the Jenkins again. I created a job. I given some description. Specify the location where my code is available. And here I have an option, execute the Windows batch command. The build step, we have an option, execute Windows batch command. What is the batch file name? Testrun.bat. I'm not giving any location because use custom workspace. Automatically it will refer the location. In this location only that batch file is available. Enough. If you want to do some post-build action, meaning after execution of the test cases, you want Jenkins to send an email notification to your lead or a manager, you can configure email notification. You can specify the email IDs. You can give the email IDs. After execution, the results will be automatically sent to these emails. After execution, results will be sent automatically by Jenkins server to these given email IDs. Apply, save. I created a job item now. I created a job item, I have configured. At any point of time, you can reconfigure again. You can change. Location you can change, batch file name you can change, anything you can change. Now I want to run instantly. Instantly meaning immediately. I log in, I want to run instantly the test cases. Assumption today I have received the modified build. I want to run the test cases instantly on the modified version. Here I have an option called build now. It will integrate all the programs and execute. It's running. It runs on the system background. You don't see opening application, executing test cases. It will run on the system background and show you the results because Jenkins is a server. The test cases will not be executed on the server machine. All test cases will run on the hidden mode. After execution, it will show you the results here. When I refresh, build 1 tested, one time executed, console output. Whatever the output generated by your TestNG framework, that output will be visible here. If I configure the email ID, this output will be sent. Now, if I want to run another time, one more time, build now, again it will execute. It will show the status here actually. When I refresh the browser window, it is showing the current build history. If you go back, you have the build history here. Actually, in real time, last week executed, today executed, the build history will be there. But just for explaining, immediately I am running this. When the build 1 executed, when the build 2 executed, complete history will be maintained here. Build 1 history, build 2 history we can track. Now, let me explain how to configure the build execution, how to schedule the build execution. Again, I go to configure. Here we have an option build triggers. Automatically, you want to trigger the build execution by the Jenkins. You can configure the date and time. You can configure the date and time when you want Jenkins to run automation test cases automatically. You can schedule the execution, date and time. If you click this hell, it will show you the format you have to configure. I copy this, paste it here. In this format, you have to configure the build execution. First, you have to configure the minutes within the hour, 0 to 59. Now the time 9:18, actually 24 hours format you have to configure. Now I am giving a time, for example, 9:21. Next 3 minutes, 2 minutes. In companies, team said, tonight by 8 p.m. we are going to give the next version, next release. I'll configure by 9 p.m. you execute test cases. My presence also not required. Automatically, when the time 9 comes, Jenkins will start executing test case on the given build. I'm giving some time, say 22. 22 meaning 22 minutes. Hour, 9. The hour of the day, 0 to 23. 24 hours for. Now the time is 9. Day of the month, 1 to 31. Today, 14, right? 14. Month, 4. Day of the week. Day of the week, 0, 7 hours Sundays. So today, 1 Monday, 4. apply and save. What is the time I have configured? 22. You wait. When the system time reach, automatically Jenkins will trigger the execution. You no need to manually, instantly execute it. One option, you log in, instantly you can run, or you can schedule the date and time when Jenkins want to run. Your presence also not required. Automatically Jenkins will trigger the build execution. After execution, it will show the output. Also, the output will be sent to the configured email address. See, do you have the code in Jenkins? Do you have the Selenium code in Jenkins? Now what I can do, I can create login accounts for my other team members. I can permit my other team members to run automation scripts via Jenkins. They are only running, seeing the results, posting the results. They do not know what is happening inside. But you are able to run automation script, but where is the code available? You don't have an option to see the code. You don't have an option to change the code. I am permitting my other users to run automation script via Jenkins without providing the code. Almost by end of the 2022, 22 minutes, it will run. We configure the minutes 22. Almost at the middle of 22 or end of the 22, it will trigger. We have to wait for another minute. Started. By 22, it started actually. When I refresh, how many times the build was executed till now? 3 times. And you'll be having the build history here somewhere. Complete build history also will be visible here. If you select any one of these, it will show the output of the results of the particular build. Any build results you can track. Previous build results, build 1 results, build 2 results, build number showing here. Build 3 results. Only see here, I have an option. People, I can create login account for other people. I can create login account for my other team members so that they can log in and able to run the automation script without knowing where is the code and how is the code. So finally, without giving the access to the code, without providing the code, I can allow my team members to run automation test cases via Jenkins. Have you understood this? Right. Make a short description about it. Jenkins is a continuous integration tool. Jenkins is a continuous integration. Continuous integration. Stop. What is the meaning of the term continuous integration? Supposing as of now in github.com or in the location, there are about 4 test cases available. When I run the build, 4 test cases only will be running. Only you have to upload, let's say you uploaded 1 more test case into the github.com. Automatically, even that test case will be picked up and executed. Whatever the code available in a given location, automatically all code will be combined and executed. Hence, generally we call it as continuous integration tool, shortly CI tool. Jenkins is a continuous integration and build execution tool. Continuation. In Jenkins, we create test execution job. Test execution job we create test execution job. While creating test execution job, you specify the location where automation scripts are available. Where automation scripts are available. Where automation scripts are present, available. Condition. When you run a job, Jenkins will connect to the location. Where automation scripts are present. Where automation scripts are present. When you run a job, Jenkins will connect to the location where automation scripts are available. When you run a job, Jenkins will connect to the server where automation scripts are available. Integrate all scripts. Integrates all scripts. Run scripts. Integrate all scripts. Execute the script. Then post results in Jenkins server. Post the results in Jenkins server. Right. If we configure the email IDs, automatically results will be sent to even email IDs. So finally, you can permit your team members to run automation script via Jenkins without providing the code to the team member. That's the purpose of having Jenkins in real time for more security. My team members are working on site. I want to allow on-site team members to run automation script. I do not want to provide the access or give the entire code to them. So via Jenkins, what I will do, I'll create a login account in the Jenkins server, or the login account details will be given to the team member. He simply log in, click run button, able to run the script. But the code, everything is available in our environment. Jenkins is connecting to our environment where the code is available, integrating the code, executing, results will be sent back to the client. For this kind of purpose, we can make use of the Jenkins. Clear about this, right? See, for bigger projects, many team members working from different locations, then only you need to have this kind of GitHub and Jenkins kind of stuff, correct? When you talk about a small project, small teams working, this kind of unnecessary management also not needed. In the local environment, easily you can manage. But when you're working on so many team members working, bigger size of project, bigger size of team members, then only you need a proper setup to manage the efficient manner. In this context, we go with GitHub and Jenkins. Let us say it is a startup kind of organization, 3-4 members are working together, just local system is enough. You don't need to have cloud infrastructure to manage all this stuff. Understand? Right. Well, so automating Windows applications using Auto IT. So that only one topic left in, right? I thought actually page scroll and capturing screenshot was not explained. Okay, so then the one topic left in, how to automate the Windows elements operation using Auto IT kind of tool. This topic we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, thank you. We continue tomorrow. Thank you, online team. We'll continue tomorrow. Maybe 2 sessions I need to explain, or we'll see, 1 or 2 sessions. We'll start, accordingly we'll go. Because first we have to learn some basic auto IT, few commands, how to write the code in auto IT to handle the Windows operation, converting the auto IT code into some exe file. That exe file we have to call from the Selenium test cases. We'll see tomorrow. If not, day after tomorrow, we'll finish up the things. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, online team. We connect tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Nawaz, did you send the mail to me?
No, sir, I will send to